Hey, hello everyone. Welcome back to my channel. Today we are diving deep into a topic that's absolutely fundamental to the future of AI. So especially those automated AI agents, which is gonna helping uh, to orchestrate the workflows, and those autonomous AI agents is gonna be a multi solving the complex and multi-step problems in a different environments. It has a reasoning planning capabilities. So there's going to be a future workforce with these autonomous AI agents, and we need to work with the digital workforce going. But today we are understanding like how to scale up those thousands of the AI agents and to give them a step-by-step flow and how to integrate them into the different data and potentially getting those thousands of the AIs working together. But before I'm diving into that, and I thanks those people who supports my videos. That means a lot for me because whatever I'm trying to create and what I'm trying to say, sometimes it requires me a lot of understanding and try to explain to you more detail and depth wise. I try my best to do that. So thanks for your support. So let's go to what is an agent, right? So agent are the systems that independently accomplish the task on your behalf. What that is means, how a worker or an employee thinks, these agents are gonna think the similar way. So we need to work with them, how focused they are, and how uh, guardrails which we are going to define on top of them, what kind of a rules which we have to uh, create it, the strategy wise, and those frameworks, and the continuous improvement with the help of the feedback. So these are the kind of like agents. Agents require a six kind of like methods to how a worker employee thinks the similar way those agent is gonna think. That's what we have to come with the human feedback loop and try to validate how our worker is working. Similarly, the agent is gonna have their validators and the human feedback loop, the guardrails, the safety, the rules which we are defined on top of the AI agents. So, so when you should build an agent, so whenever you things, the complex decision making. You have the huge kind of a data, and you have to take a decision making with the help of the data. And the agents are the best ones because agents gonna work on unstructured data as well. And all he needs to comes up with a difficult maintain those rules. And to build a powerful AA agent, which we need to have a continuous reinforcement feedback loop is required. That's where the data flywheel concept comes from NVIDIA. It's the streaming agent operations which required for us in a modern day. That's required us to give a continuous feedback and information to the agents that they can understand and try to do it. And after this, I'm gonna create a um, gonna show you right how the sentimental way comes with the data fly, how I'm using those NEMO frameworks and NEM microservices from NVIDIA. The data fly is self-reinforcement feedback loop. It is strategic way for a business to create a sustainable competitive advantage using AI. And it's collect the data from a different user interactions. And what that user interaction does means like whenever your chatbots are interacting with the users, it might have the kind of like a data which you keep on gather, and you use those data and reinforcement those uh, data and make your AI agent perform better and take a better decisions out of that. And you define a rule on basis of like how your agent has to be respond to it. An example, if you build a chatbot fly flying assistant for uh, aeroplanes. And when someone thinks like how to build a rocket, right? It chatbot doesn't necessarily to answer those kind of queries to the concerned person. It straight away says like, "Hey, I'm a kind of like a uh, assistant for you to uh, inform like the flight changes, the delays, and how I to improve the customer interaction." So you can restrict that as well. The improved AI models will deliver better business one. But NVIDIA has those microservices. So how it's going to help? Like you have enterprise data and you have the customer interaction data, and we have the foundation models of the LLMs, which has the speech, vision, and biological information. And it take those data, right, and create the custom synthetic data on top of it and use the Nemo microservices, and then give us like interface to custom models to it. So it has a guardrails, it has a curator, it has a customizer, and it has a evolutor to do that. What is curator is going to do that, right? It has a domain specific seed data and critique those kind of like a plan data and filter those business classification with rewrite the persona with the rules and remove the PI toxicity in the data and deliver high quality synthetic data. So the curator is going to help to understand a specific domain problem and create a high synthetic quality data that help to train your large language models or agents with that kind of a data. And Nemo Retriever, which has a RAG, so it has extracting from different external sources, and it keep on to the vector databases. It has the embedding capabilities. So whenever the user asks for some responses, it goes to the guardrails and query that one, and it's going to save in those queries into the long-term memory to understand the user behavior. So when it deals with the AI agents, it has long-term and short-term memory. So how human brain is going to think the similarly this agent's gonna think. It has a long-term and short-term memory, and it has a work-based memory. So which are the kind of a task which has to be done. So it store those once in the cognitive memory, and then it's going to respond whenever the uh, user comes in with the data. For example, if you wanted to build more personalized chatbots which understand the user with the long-term context window, and you can provide a more personalized ones with the help of the PathRAG as well. So guardrails are major things in building those AIs because you are scaling up, because we should know, right, how our models, how our agent is performing it. So we have not going to share any PI sensitive data, and we should have a third party guardrails, and we have a pre-trained models. We should understand the toxicity level, the jailbreak detections. And then this is a continuous loop, which I'm talking about, right? The agents, when we are going to build like thousands of the agent. So these are the things which we have to build into it. And then we have like evaluator. What that is means like we should know how our agents are being interacting, the handshaking, whether they are giving the proper information which a user is asking or not. That has to be uh, seen somewhere else. And that what that means is that someone has to validate what agents are going to be sharing that. So it's very important to keep a evaluator, and then they can keep the human feedback loop as well. So when I'm trying to build those agentic workflows for enterprises, they can keep on asking me, right, how you can create those how you can create those handshake, how secure how secure the data is going to be there, and how you're going to define those rules, because we have 6 to 7 kind of rules, because each rule which we have to define on top of the agent. So each rule is going to understand how the agent has to be respond in certain situations, including those guardrails. What is customizer is going to do it here? It's take those fine-tuned data set and it's going to take your domain problem and it's train your LLM with the fine tuning with your domain data. So it's you can see it, right? So data fly is continuous feedback loop. So whenever you are building any kind of like agentic frameworks, which you have to keep the 67, the six kind of like things that you have to keep on considering. That's how it's gonna be scaled. So here is the Collab notebook, which the data fly with Nemo text processing for sentiment analysis. What I have done it here to try to demonstrate those transformers to it. So I have created, I installed those NVIDIA Nemo test processing, and I have run this and it's downloaded the required things and I checked the GPU availabilities, right? So it shows like how in a Column notebook it's going to be run those sentimental analysis to it, and it's preload the train about base model for sentimental analysis using the Hugging Face transformer. So I use Nemo NLP models here, and I have load those model here. It's loaded here, and then I define the kind of a text queries like how the sentiment of that particular ones. Absolutely love the movie. It was fantastic. So how it's gonna take that? Is it like the positive, neutral, or a negative, right? So it actually downloaded the pre-trained model from Hugging Face they brought, and then on the Collab notebook it started once. So it's did the sentiment analysis on top of it. Like I spent the query. It is like I absolutely loved the movie. It was fantastic. Its sentiment is positive, right? And then I have the one here. The service was terrible. I won't go back. So it means like the service is bad here, and it is a negative one, and it has given the confidence score as well. And the weather today is quite pleasant, right? The predictive statement is going to be negative, right? The reason it's showing it here, right? It should be more confident of it because with the way we have given here to understand the kind of like a positive or negative depending upon the contents of that ones. The way the query is going to be says, it's not founding the more ones. But if I think like if I weather today is quite pleasant, I think this is a positive. But yeah, so how I've defined there, it's defined the contents of it. Thanks for those people who are watching this, and please like and subscribe for more video content. Thank you. Thank you so much. And I'm going to share this collab notebook. And if you feel like if you had any queries or anything, I'm absolutely fine to answer all your queries. Thank you, guys.